All right. Before we went to break, we talked about the system of what they have to do here to get anything past these progressives. They have to bribe, they have to indoctrinate. But if these still don't work, well, then they have to get nasty. They're going to silence you. Well, that couldn't be happening, right? Certainly not within their own party, right?
The senator has spoken for 10 minutes.
I wonder if I could ask unanimous consent for just an additional moment.
In my capacity as senator from Minnesota, I object.
Really? Oh, okay.
I just saw, I've been around here 20-some years. First time I've ever seen a member denied an extra minute or two to finish his remarks. And I must say that I don't know what's happening here in this body, but I think it's wrong.
It is wrong. I know Joe Lieberman, and I don't always agree with him. In fact, I sometimes vehemently disagree with him, but he is a decent man. When he said, "Oh, really?" he was stunned. I don't agree much with anything of John McCain, but I do believe he's a man of honor. He, too, is stunned. John McCain and Joe Lieberman. John McCain steps up and says, "I don't know what's happening in this chamber." Oh, John, why don't you stop idolizing Theodore Roosevelt and read what Theodore Roosevelt wanted to do, followed by Woodrow Wilson? I blame you. I blame Joe Lieberman. I blame Al Franken. I blame all those who had stood by while they watched the Constitution being shredded. I blame you for what is going on in that chamber, because anyone who swears to uphold and defend the Constitution should know its history and the history of the early 20th century progressives. Instead, these progressives and the Republicans and the Democratic Party have decided to embrace, encourage, and in many ways become part of it. The progressive movement is not an American constitutional ideology. It is more akin to early Italian fascism than to the Founding Fathers. And for anybody who wants to say, "Oh, there he goes again, calling progressives fascist," let's remember history. Put it in the history context. Charles Beard in the New Republic wrote, "Beyond question, an amazing experiment is being made here, an experiment in reconciling individualism and socialism, politics and technology. It would be a mistake to allow the feeling aroused by contemplating the harsh deeds and extravagant assertions that have accompanied the fascist process. It is the philosophy that the ends justify the means, and the elites can make a better choice than the individual. That it is that the antithesis of what James Madison and George Washington and Ben Franklin fought and lived their entire life for." Now, I want to show you the politics of destruction. But first, remember, this is what Barack Obama said, that he was against, you know, the old style of politics. He hated it, and he was going to change all of that.
That is the politics of the past. We are offering the politics of the future. We are tired of the politics of fear. We are going to offer the politics of hope. That is the politics of the past, and we are looking at the politics of the future. The American people were ready for something new. They were tired of a politics that was all about tearing each other down. They wanted a politics that was about lifting the country up. People wanted to see a politics that wasn't about tearing each other down, but was about lifting the country up.
Okay, that sounds great, doesn't it? A lot of talk about hope and change and lifting people up, not tearing them down. It sounded so great during the election, but I ask, do you feel like the government is lifting you up and giving you a lot of straight talk now? If you disagree with this administration or this Congress, welcome to the politics of destruction. You toe the party line, or you will be attacked. When in December, Senator Lieberman was against the health care bill, the left got so worked up that the WashingtonPost.com blogger Ezra Klein wrote, quote, "Lieberman seems primarily motivated by torturing liberals. That is to say, he seems willing to cause the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people in order just to settle an old electoral score." Wow. I have said I have a major critic of Senator Lieberman. But let's take a look at that for a second. They say Lieberman was okay with the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people for political games? I am sure glad that we have in the past the politics of fear and division, and we are helping people up instead of tearing people down. If a politician keeps going on because they have a spine, I showed you how they would get their critics to attack the politician's family. These people are so desperate to pass their reform that liberal groups went after Hadassah Lieberman. She's a global ambassador for the Susan G. Komen Foundation for Breast Cancer Research. They demanded that her salary not be paid or that she be fired outright. Oh my gosh. Liberal blogger Jane Hammersher, she attacked the wife of Senator Lieberman, attacked her charity work, because Jane didn't like the way the senator was leaning on health care. Again, Jane, I'm glad we moved past the politics of division. By the way, just a reminder, we also told you on that program that Jane Hammersher used to date that guy, chief of SCIU, Andy Stern. Why am I not surprised? Liberal blogger, what a great job. As far as we know, she's still blogging liberally. But what if you're a group like the Tea Party movement, 9/12? You went to the Tea Party movement, or you went to a summer town hall meeting. Well, you're a hate monger, you're a racist, or you're just uneducated, a redneck that doesn't understand, or you're just being led right along to slaughter by Fox News.
Obama bashers. I have to say that this is not entirely representative of everybody in America. This was organized by 3 different conservative groups. I think you get the general tenor of this. It's anti-government, anti-CNN, since this is highly promoted by the right-wing conservative network Fox.
Let's be very honest about what this is about. It's not about bashing Democrats. It's not about taxes. They have no idea what the Boston Tea Party was about. That's right. They don't know their history at all. This is about hating a black man in the White House. This is racism straight up. That is nothing but a bunch of tea-bagging rednecks.
This initiative is funded by the high end. We call it AstroTurf. It's not really a grassroots movement. It's AstroTurf by some of the wealthiest people of America.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I love Janine Garofalo, where they're so stupid. They don't even know their history. But if they can't destroy you, well, then what did they do to the Tea Party movement? They just erase you. Do you remember when the Person of the Year was named, Ben Bernanke? Something or somebody was missing. Watch this. Gee, I mean, I can't think of anybody else that might have affected this country at all in the last year, Time Magazine. Can't think of any, I don't know, any protesters or anything. I can't think of a single, I mean, there hasn't been any disagreements with this president at all, you know? I'm just thinking, who could it be? Who are they missing? You know, I mean, the progressives are jamming bills right down our throats, and, you know, America's just taking it. There's no questions asked, right? There's nobody standing in the streets. Hey, wait a minute, isn't there that Tea Party thing that's going on? You know, 9/12 movement. Tea Party movement. It wasn't even in the year in pictures. How do you do the year in pictures without the pictures of the people standing in the mall or standing there at the town hall meetings? Oh, the progressives may have forgotten you Tea Party goers, but we have not. They use these tactics to buy time. But what are they buying time for? For what? The fundamental transformation of America, the progressive dream that began over 100 years ago. They need the structure to control every aspect of your life, and they are just about finishing building it.